Hi. A, a, a learner asked me recently asked me if I could tell them more about the different ways you can move materials. And, if you go out to the internet and look it up, there's just hundreds and hundreds of different ways of moving things out there. The challenge gets to be trying to learn all of those, but we can break them down into four categories fundamentally. One of the categories being transporting things. Okay, let me spell that out here. So transporting things. So if we look at that, conveyors like you see right here would be an example. And if you look at the picture down here, this is loading from from your baggage from a vehicle up on a conveyor belt up into the body of the airplane, into the belly where our bags are stored. We also see conveyors in grocery stores when they're moving goods around, but it's that whole category of transporting from one place to another. A second category of material handling or moving stuff would be positioning. So we're going to pick up something and move it and position it or put it in another spot. And so often this first one we see on top, we see this in large construction when they're moving, large pieces of lumber, concrete beams, and such from one spot within the construction site up to the building spot within the building site itself. Or within smaller facilities, you'll see what's called a hoist right here, which is a little bit more portable. And so using the idea of a hook down here, we'll probably hook onto some type of eyelet where the hoist then will go up and pick up something and move it around or position it to be somewhere else. A third category of material movement is forming a load. So a good example here would be the pallet itself. The size of the pallet, whatever it is, we're trying to build one solid unit in height, width, and probably even depth, although we can't see it. So we have a standard size build, or standard size load that could fit into a semi or into a shelf in a warehouse or whatever. But a third type of material handling would be the platform or the pallet itself that allows us to form a load. A fourth and last category would be for storage, most common being the pallet rack. Okay, this is the rack where we store pallets, or we may have dividers in here where we'll slide in glass or other forms, but it's that whole category of warehouse storage racks that we would see throughout a facility, so we could store things both horizontally, vertically, and then depth-wise at the same time too. So it's storage space itself. So those are the four categories again: transportation, positioning, form a load, and storage. And within all those categories, there's various pieces of equipment and certainly probably other subcategories that we would have within here as well.